Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you happen to be new, hello, my name is Dana. I'm so excited that you guys decided to stop by and hang out. If you decide that this is a channel for you and you want to add me to your subscription feed, I would love that. Just be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, for all of my OG viewers, don't forget to hit that little bell. I know, I'm sure you guys are so sick of hearing this, but a lot of people have been snapping me and tweeting me, letting me know that they haven't been seeing my videos. YouTube sometimes hates me and decides to unsubscribe you, like, without you knowing that. So if you guys just hit that little bell, then you'll be notified for every time I upload a new video. I'm trying my best to get 2 to 3 videos up a week. 2 for sure. I really want to do 3, but let me know if you guys have suggestions for set dates. I don't know, like, I know lots of people are like, it's important to get a schedule and I need to do it, and I'll like do really good for 2 or 3 weeks and then I miss one and then I hate myself and get super frustrated. But yeah, if there's like specific dates, I was thinking like maybe Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, just because I know a lot of people do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let me know which days are your like days that you like to plop down and watch YouTube if there are specific dates. But today's video is super exciting. You guys know I love dupes, I love drugstore makeup, I love high-end makeup. Let's get real, I love all makeup. But I was going through on Ulta looking at the What's New page just because I want to do a new Ulta haul, test out some new makeup, and I saw one product and instantly caught my eye. I was like, wait a minute, that would make a great dupe video. So today we will be discussing the Kat Von D Shade+Eye palette. If you guys know me, you know I love this palette. It is full of gorgeous matte shades. This palette here retails for $48. Don't mind my black shadow, that one got a bit dirty. But I think this makes such a great everyday essential palette. You can create multiple looks from just this single palette, or you could use this kind of as your like brow bone transition shades and then go in with like a really shimmery pigment or glitter. It's just an awesome palette to have. In fact, I think I own maybe like one other Kat Von D holiday palette. I don't really have any of like the Monarch. I know Pastel Goth is the newest one, I think. And then the Metal Matte palette. This was really the only one that stuck out to me. As you can see, you have like a top row full of, at first I was gonna say brow bone shades, but no girl, that is not a brow bone color. Basically just full of gorgeous matte transitional, lid, outer corner, just tons of awesome shadows. So this palette retails for $48. You can get this at Sephora. But while I was on Ulta, I came across this bad boy here. This is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade palette. Clearly this is intended to be like a dupe because I mean the colors and layout is basically spot on. There was only one color in the pan form that looks quite different, and it's the black in the Makeup Revolution. As you can see, the black here, I don't know how well it's gonna pull up on camera. This definitely pulls more navy, whereas the Kat Von D is like a true intense black. Now, I haven't even swatched all these yet, but they are the shadows that I have on my eyes. So I have gone through and played about 5 to 6 of the shades, so I will include that small tutorial at the end, just so you guys can really see how these shadows perform, like blendability, pigmentation. So far, I have to say I'm so impressed. Did I even tell you guys the price of this one? This one is $15. Makeup Revolution is sold at Ulta. You can get it at Ulta.com as well as tambeauty.com. I guess that's some sort of sister company. I'm not quite sure exactly, but I know they sell Makeup Revolution, I Heart Makeup, Free something. I actually just placed an order on that site recently. They have lots of cool stuff. But yeah, if you have an Ulta nearby, I would definitely check out the display. Actually, this one may be online only, or it's just not in store yet, because the Makeup Revolution section at my Ulta is always like not very impressive. So I did order this one online. $15, new formula, talc free. This one does not include names. Clearly the shadow sizes in these are a lot smaller than the Kat Von D, but it's less than half the price. So if you're on a budget and you're really wanting to extend your like matte eyeshadow collection, your makeup palettes, or you've really been wanting to try the Kat Von D palette but don't want to bite the bullet, I really think that this is going to be a great option for you. So now I'm going to go ahead and swatch them side by side for you. I'm trying to think of like the best way. I think I'm just going to zoom you into my arm and keep Kat Von D on one side and Makeup Revolution on the other, and we'll go all the way through. That way you guys can see how the colors compare. Okay, I wanted to give you guys one more close-up of both the palettes just so you can see the layout is pretty much identical. I'm having to lean so far back right now. But yeah, just so you guys can see, the Makeup Revolution one doesn't have names. The Kat Von D one does, but I'm just gonna go like basically this color, this color, this color, this color, and then we'll go on the second row. So let's get into the swatch party. Okay, so I just dipped my fingers into the palette. My pointer finger is going to be the Kat Von D, and then my middle finger is going to be the Makeup Revolution. So I will say the Kat Von D did feel butterier to the touch, but just upon finger application, they both seem pretty pigmented. So here is Kat Von D. here is Makeup Revolution. Now, swatches don't always tell the full story because I did apply both of these onto my brow bone and they applied identical. Okay, now moving on to the second shade in the top row. Once again, Kat Von D is the pointer finger, and then Makeup Revolution is my index finger. So there we have Kat Von D. Here we have Makeup Revolution. It looks like Kat Von D may pull slightly warmer, but they're pretty darn similar. Okay, now moving on to the final shade in the top row. It's that kind of like peachy transitional shade. So once again, Kat Von D, Makeup Revolution. So there is the top row of both of the palettes. Moving on to the first shade of the second row, Kat Von D, Makeup Revolution. For matte drugstore shades, that's pretty darn good. I know some people are gonna be like, Makeup Revolution isn't drugstore, but I guess Ulta. Here is the second shade, kind of that deep brown. Kat Von D, Makeup Revolution. That's gonna be the last time I say that because clearly you guys are getting the picture now. As you can see, Kat Von D definitely swatches smoother and kind of like more buttery, but I feel like it should because if you're paying more money, you should be getting better ingredients. But the color is pretty much spot on. I don't really know how impressive this is going to be to swatch, but here is that nice kind of like off-white shade. And then moving on to that kind of like grayish cool toned charcoal brown. Oh, whoops, that white one I can like barely even see. I feel like this is really the first noticeable difference. The Kat Von D definitely looks more like a taupey, like gray brown, whereas the Makeup Revolution is more just like a light, cooler toned brown. This is another color I was really interested in seeing how they swatched just because the black in the Makeup Revolution definitely looked more navy. So here is the Kat Von D black, which is such a gorgeous black, and then the Makeup Revolution. Oh, wow. Okay, the Makeup Revolution black actually does show up as a black though and not a navy. Huh, that's weird that it looks so navy in the palette because swatched, I mean, it definitely just looks like a straight up black. Okay, here is the second kind of like bone whitish shade. This was a shade that I did notice a difference with even when applying. So here is the Kat Von D, and then here is the Makeup Revolution. The Kat Von D definitely is way more saturated in pigmentation. Okay, I'm going to have to move the swatches onto my hand. I think this is the color that most of us were going to be the most curious about. This is that gorgeous kind of like rich orangey brown. So there is the Kat Von D, and there's the Makeup Revolution. That's hands down my favorite color in both the palettes. These performed like identical, basically twin sisters. Okay, and then we have the brown that's right next to that. Huh. This one is definitely more of a warm brown. The Makeup Revolution is a warm brown, and then the Kat Von D just looks more like a saturated kind of neutral brown. Okay, and then the very final shade in the palettes, I'm having to use like my ring finger and my pinky now. Let's focus, please. Okay, it's just kind of this like peachy shade. So let's do this guy and then this guy. So there's the Kat Von D and then the Makeup Revolution. Those seem pretty much identical and they both actually feel the exact same texture. They kind of have more, like they're smooth, but they have a bit of a crumbly, not dry, but just, if you guys have the Kat Von D palette, you'll know what I mean. It's like it's buttery to the touch, but there definitely is kind of like a crumbly kick up. So once again, there are all the shades. And then right here. I'm going to make my right eye, which I guess when you're watching it is my left eye, the Makeup Revolution palette. And then I'm going to make my left eye, which I guess is my right eye on the screen, the Kat Von D palette. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go through and try to use brushes that are pretty similar, but obviously different brushes for each eye. That way the colors aren't mixing. So starting off with the Makeup Revolution side, I'm going to go in with this brow bone shade, and I'm going to be using the same shade in the Kat Von D palette. So I'm just going to place this to kind of set my brow, and I always like to take some of the color right here on my inner corner too, where I get some darkness. So that was the Morphe M333. Now the Sigma, I think this is the E50, is a bit larger, but the shape overall is pretty much the same. So going into the Kat Von D side, I'm going to place some of this color as well. Pigmentation, formula, color, those pretty much seem spot on even on the eye. There is that guy. Both of them seem to be really, really smooth. Okay, so going back into the Makeup Revolution palette, unfortunately, I can't even tell you what this brush is. The name is so worn off. Oh wait, here. It's the Sigma E38. So now we're going to go into, still sticking with the top row, this shade here. Are curious, whenever I dip my brush in here, it does look like that. There is a little bit of kick up. Nothing too severe. That seems to be pretty common with matte shadows, so I'm not too worried about that, but let's see how it applies. I'm just gonna go in and concentrate this more. Kind of, since I have hooded lids, I kind of like to go above where my crease would be. That way we're actually seeing the color that we're applying. What I remember of the Kat Von D Shade and Light, it seems like these shades are gonna be pretty similar as well. Now moving on to the Kat Von D side, I actually have a second E38. So it looks like there's that same bit of kick up in the makeup or in the Kat Von D palette as well. So same thing, kind of above where my crease would be, and start to pull it in. Honestly, it looked like I had a little bit more color payoff with the Makeup Revolution one. So I just went in one more time with the Kat Von D just to build up the pigmentation a bit more. Yeah, the color seems pretty much identical. Okay, so back to the Makeup Revolution eye, just to deepen up the color and add some warmth, I'm going to go into this shade here, which is actually my favorite color in the Kat Von D palette, so I really hope that these two match up. So for the right side, I'm using the e.l.f. crease brush. This, I'm going to, oh, yes, that is good pigmentation. I'm going to start right here on the outer corner and then slowly start pulling the color in. This shade, I'm going to concentrate more on where my actual crease would be if I didn't have hooded lids. So I'm not going to be pulling this one as far up as the last shade. Blendability seems really nice. Pigmentation is nice. I'm noticing a tiny bit of fallout, nothing too severe. I'm going to go back in with the Sigma E38 that I was using on this side and do the same thing, kind of those blending motions, and pull it upwards a bit. Going back into the Kat Von D side, I'm going to do the same thing, concentrate first on the outer corner and start to pull the color in. Now that I'm using this brush may be a bit more dense than the e.l.f. one, so I'm going to go back in with the E38 that we started with on this side and do the same thing and just start to blend this out. Whenever I look back, the colors still seem pretty much identical. I am really excited about this just because this is a palette I've recommended to so many people. So it would be nice to kind of have a more affordable option. Moving on to the next shade, I'm going to take the second shade here on the bottom row. It's just a really pretty rich brown. I'm using a Sigma E30, which is just a nice pencil brush on this side, and I'm going to concentrate this on the outer corner. This one may not be quite as pigmented as the Kat Von D one, because I remember the Kat Von D one being a bit more rich. I remember it like felt kind of dry, but I feel like it applies a bit better than this one. Okay, and then on this side, I'm using the Makeup Geek small crease brush. Oh, actually, maybe they are pretty similar. No, the Kat Von D one has a bit more pigmentation, but I feel like if I were to go in with the Makeup Revolution and really just add more, then it would be the same. Going back in with the Sigma E38, I am noticing a bit more fallout on the Makeup Revolution side, but if I were to have done my eyes first like I normally do and then gone in with my foundation, that wouldn't be an issue. Okay, now moving on to the small bit of lid space that I do have, I want to brighten it up some, so I'm going to go in with this shade right here. The Makeup Revolution palette actually comes with a double-ended brush, so I'm going to be using the flat shader side, just dipping into that kind of bone shade, and I'm going to place that. Oh, this one seems a bit like it has pigment, but that color seemed to have had a lot of fallout and kick up compared to the other shades that we've used so far. So using that same shade from the Kat Von D palette, okay, this seems to be the first noticeable difference out of all the shades that I've used so far. This one applied way more white and intense right away. So I'm gonna go in and try to build up this side. Let me try and see if I can apply this one with my finger and if that helps at all. Oh, definitely seems to have made a difference. Now I feel like it matches more with the Kat Von D side. I'm gonna go in and apply some liquid liner really quick and I'll be right back. So here is a quick close-up of both eyes. This is a couple minutes later after adding lashes and liner. I will say for whatever reason my eyes are wanting to water now, so if there's any smudging, blame my watery eyeballs, not the eyeshadows. I really wish I would have brought a makeup wipe in here because I know this is going to end up all over my shirt, but there are other swatches and a quick tutorial on both of these palettes. I definitely think this is the most exciting dupe that I've come across in a while. So if the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette has been something that's been on your wish list and you just haven't been wanting to spend the $48, I guess like $50 something after taxes, I definitely think this is a great dupe for you. What is this loop doing? Some of the colors may not be exactly spot on, but I would say about like 90% of the palette was pretty much identical to where like that one brown where some was kind of like a bit cooler than the other. You could find something else in your collection surely. But out of the shades that I used today from this palette, I have to say that I'm super impressed. That is it for this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Let me know if you guys would like to see more of these drugstore / Ulta dupes, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!